Three Silicon Valley Asian Americans tell their stories of the opportunities and challenges they faced as recent immigrants. Their experiences highlight some of the issues that immigrants overcome on their way to contributing to the Valley's great economic and cultural diversity. 1 in 3 residents of Santa Clara County is foreign-born, and a third is Asian American. Within these communities, immigrants find resources to achieve and benefit not only themselves, but the greater community. Throughout history, Asian Americans have faced both obstacles and success on the road toward shaping Silicon Valley. Before there was a Silicon Valley, before the Valley of Heart's Delight buzzed with the sweetness of plum blossoms, before the constant singing of smartphones, there were immigrants from Asian countries providing the muscle, skills, and the trailblazing innovation that have become a hallmark of the Valley. For over 150 years, Asian American immigrants have contributed each day to building the community. Word of California's gold strike spreads, drawing an estimated 12,000 Chinese to the mines and camps. Chinese laborers and domestic workers construct the Transcontinental Railroad. Japanese farmers arrive to tend the orchards, and along with the Chinese, labor on the railroads and in the fields, canneries, and mines. Soon, Filipino and Korean workers join in. Despite economic success and contributions, Asian newcomers faced a wave of anti-immigrant laws, starting with an 1858 state law barring entry for Chinese and Mongolians. Approximately 3,300 Japanese Americans from Santa Clara Valley are sent to Heart Mountain internment camp during World War II. After nearly 100 years of restrictions, federal law allows Asians to immigrate in greater numbers. Vietnamese, Cambodians, and Lao Hmong fled war-torn countries. New waves of Thai, Pacific Islanders, and South Asians also arrived, seeking opportunities. H-1B visas fueled Silicon Valley's technology boom, as 1 in 3 scientists and engineers were immigrants. Immigrants from India and China have created a third of all companies founded in the Valley. While immigrants have played an important role in forging Silicon Valley, many challenges are still faced by immigrants today. Nanita Ibe immigrated to the Bay Area in 1996. At age 56, she came with her husband and a daughter. Her 4 other children remained in the Philippines. Like many immigrants, they were sponsored by relatives who supported them when they first arrived. Finding jobs and housing continue to be a priority in an area where the cost of living remains among the nation's highest.
I excited to come so that I heard it's very nice than the America. I know it's good, but very hard.
Nanita began working in the hotel industry as a room attendant, putting her children through school in the Philippines. Since she has always worked, she has had to learn English by watching television.
Minsan, kung may nagsasalita, dinidinig namin, kahit alam mo naman kung sa Pilipinas ay mababang pinag-aralan, alam din, pero baluktot. But now, I know a little bit. Yes, perfect.
Since Nanita's husband died in 2001, she has been alone. When she can't catch a ride with friends, she must catch a bus and then the light rail to work. It takes a long time for the short trip, if the bus shows up. She lives in half of a converted garage with all of her possessions. Nanita is glad to be working even though it is physically demanding. Going to the doctor is difficult because of language barriers. She isn't treated for her diagnoses because she can't afford it.
Ang napil ko, ang pakiramdam ko, wala naman akong diabetes. Pero sabi, pilit nila mayroon akong diabetes. Injeksyonan nila ako ng insulin, pero ayaw ko. Kasi ang pakiramdam ko, wala eh. It's masyadong mahal. Every paycheck, 57 and 50. Every paycheck.
Nanita has injuries and health issues that come with age. She is actively working with the union in hopes of improving life and establishing a voice in the workplace for her coworkers and herself.
Likod, sa baywang, lahat, mga dito. Lahat. Pagdating ko dito, nakahiga na ako. Hindi kami makakuha ng break, even 15 minutes. Kasi yung kwarto, aabutin namin parang matapos.
Nanita longs to have her 2 unmarried sons join her here, but there is a backlog of petitions for immigration. She remains hopeful that they will be reunited in the United States.
Long time now, I did not go to vacation. 5 years now already. No money. Not enough money. It's very expensive for the ticket. I hope, again, mga apo ko, mapag-aral ko ng nursing na naman.
Nanita's devotion to lifting up her family has made her life here more meaningful. She has passed on her value of education to generations of her family. Silicon Valley's diverse economic opportunities have a strong pull on people from all over the world. In 1986, 6-year-old Andy Pan, his parents, and 2 older brothers left Beijing to join relatives who were already living in Silicon Valley.
So my parents at the ripe age of 40 plus or so, and my dad was in his 50s already, decided that they wanted to give their kids, i.e. myself and my brothers, a better opportunity in life. So we decided to pack up and all move to the U.S. We packed up all of our clothes on our backs, in a sense. We sold the majority of all the furnitures and other possessions that we had, and literally all that only rounded up to about $200 or so.
Andy's father and brother first found assembly line work in the computer industry. The family all worked together on weekends, running 3 booths at the San Jose flea market. His father's work ethic made a lifelong impression on Andy and his values. Andy works as a sales executive for a Valley software company.
So it was everyone coming together and pulling together as one unit and contributing, trying to survive. So I actually consider myself privileged that I was able to have those experiences and know that money really doesn't grow on trees, and you really do have to work hard in life to be able to enjoy some of the things that you have. I love being able to help folks that are in need of helping them work out their personal finance situation where they can come out of debt. So I do some volunteer work at my local church as well in offering that help and advice to people who are in need of financial help.
As the only member of the family to attend school in the United States, Andy was immediately thrust into interpreting and negotiating all of the family's important business in English.
As I was quote unquote the most fluent in the English language, so they relied on me heavily to look over certain documentations. I remember looking at certain documentations from the INS when I was 10 years old, and Social Security statements that came in the mail, and having to translate to them what it meant, even though I didn't have any sense of what it meant.
When the Pan family saved enough money to purchase a home, they got help from another immigrant family, the Chens, who employed his mother as a nanny.
No one makes it on their own. We had the support of family and a very established new friend at that time, but it definitely took a team effort. We definitely needed to rely on them in order to make it to this point in our lives right now.
Citizenship was an important rite of passage the Pan family shared, but it is just one measure of their success.
So I remember my parents' proud moment when they became citizens and they had to go to the swearing-in ceremony. They had the little American flags waving around. I still have that little American flag sitting in my little suitcase that I keep at home, because I think it does symbolize pretty significant meaning of me becoming an American. I think ever since coming to the U.S., my proudest moments have been able to see my siblings and I and my family purchase our first home. That was definitely a milestone of ours because we had never owned our home in the past. And seeing myself and my siblings get married, started to have kids. So those are all milestones, I think, or snapshots of moments where I felt like, hey, you know what, we made it in a sense.
I escaped Vietnam by boat in 1981 when I was 25, and we went to Thailand refugee camp.
Iris Din was part of the second wave of refugees who fled Vietnam after the fall of Saigon. She and her husband were sponsored to come to the United States by the International Rescue Committee. After months in the refugee camp, they arrived with little.
The AACI organization who sponsor me give me and my family some money for first month rent, clothing, food. And it gave me a sense that somebody here already, somebody knew about my culture, my language, my situation, and had the compassion and understanding to support me through the difficult time. I really appreciate that.
Iris was 8 months pregnant when she left the refugee camp. She was only here a week when she delivered her son at a San Jose hospital. Although she had learned some English and had taken classes in the camp, the transition was abrupt.
And the nurse who didn't speak my language seemed so mad at me that I wasn't prepared, for my son to have some clothes to take him home. And I didn't know how to explain to her. And we tried hard, but we couldn't understand. So finally, she got an interpreter. And the interpreter was able to help the nurse understand that I just came here, for 7 days.
After understanding Iris's situation, the hospital staff sent her home with clothes they had collected for her newborn. Iris's life motivates her service to others in her career as a social worker. She volunteers leading parenting classes, a domestic violence support group, and leadership workshops for the Vietnamese community. She is pursuing a master's degree in social work at San Jose State University and interns at Jewish Family Services.
We can't do everything by myself or by my group of people or one organization, to help everyone in the community, I mean the human community. We all have to work together.
I think for people who had the experience and who know the culture, who can speak the the client's language is really helpful. I think I want to make a difference in the victim lives and everybody life.
You can feel her coming into the room. Okay? She's just been pure love and pure joy to be with. So thank you very much. And here's your well-earned certificate. Thank you.
I was lucky to have my chance to make it this far, to have my rights and my chance to better my life, but all the unfortunate people didn't have their voice. I wish everyone can have their chance, the resource that they entitled to live with dignity and health.
Each of these stories is unique, but they share common threads of overcoming obstacles to achieve success. Families, communities, churches, government, businesses, nonprofit, and labor organizations are the networks that help Asian American immigrants and all immigrants overcome barriers. This broad-based support creates opportunities for newcomers to Silicon Valley and helps them contribute to building a stronger community and a stronger Silicon Valley.